The whole office went dead silent, like someone had yanked the plug out of reality. You could practically hear the fluorescent lights buzzing above as Melissa stood there, finger pointed straight at Evan's chest, her voice cracking through the room like a whip. "Maybe if you use that brain of yours," she snapped, "we wouldn't be behind on this project." Papers flew from her hand and landed at his feet. Everyone froze. Some stared at their screens, pretending to work. Others glanced at each other with those wide, uncomfortable eyes that say, "Damn, she really went there." And Evan, he just stood there, not angry, not defensive, just quiet. His hands trembled a little, but his eyes stormy, steady, so heartbreakingly calm. Never left hers. He didn't say a word. And that silence, it made her even louder. Nobody knew that behind that quiet, behind that stillness, he held something that was about to flip the entire building upside down. Evan Cole wasn't the guy people noticed. He walked softly, spoke softly, and honestly lived softly. The kind of man who'd hold the door for everyone even if they didn't say thank you. The kind of man who'd stay late to help someone else finish their work, even if he was exhausted. He had grown up that way, raised by two parents who believed kindness wasn't weakness, even though the world often treated it like it was. Evan moved to the city after losing his mom, trying to restart his life with whatever pieces he had left. He lived in a tiny apartment, drank cheap coffee, read old books, and he worked harder than most people noticed. He dreamed of a workplace where people treated each other like humans, not stepping stones. But dreams feel far away when you spend your days walking on eggshells around someone like Melissa Clark. Melissa, she was something else. The kind of boss who walked like her heels were weapons. Everyone stiffened when she entered a room. She loved power the way some people love dessert. She consumed it, loudly, dramatically, and aggressively. The office itself mirrored her energy. Tense shoulders, fake smiles, whispered conversations that shut off the second she got close. You know that feeling of constantly bracing for impact, like waiting for a storm you can't escape. That was every hallway, every morning, every meeting. And she especially had it out for Evan. Maybe because he never fought back. Maybe because his quiet made her feel louder. Or maybe because she saw something gentle in him that reminded her of everything she didn't want to be. The conflict had been brewing for months, little jabs here and there. "Evan, can you keep up? Evan, maybe this job is too much for you." Then bigger ones. Public call-out, stolen credit, subtle humiliation. And he took it. Not because he was weak, but because he didn't know yet that he didn't have to. The breaking point came that morning. Evan had worked all night fixing a problem someone else caused. He was exhausted, pale, running on nothing but cheap gas station coffee. When Melissa strutted in and saw one tiny formatting mistake, something meaningless, she exploded. "Stand up," she ordered, like he was a kick. And he did, even though his legs shook. She dragged him into the center of the office, tore into him, her voice echoing against the glass. People watched, some flinched, some kept filming quietly. Evan's heart was cracking open, right there in front of everyone. That's when she said the line that hit him hardest. "You're nothing here, nothing." The words hit him like a slap, even though she never touched him. The humiliation was complete. Until his phone buzzed, and everything shifted. Evan looked down at the screen, and the tiniest flicker of something strength, resolve, lit his eyes. He inhaled slow, deep, then he pressed a button and lifted the phone to his ear. Melissa scoffed.
"Oh, what now?"
"You calling HR? Go ahead."
"Call whoever you want." And she laughed.
Actually laughed. Then the elevator dinged, loud, unusually loud. The glass doors opened and in walked three people the office had never seen before. Executives in tailored suits. The kind who didn't show up unless something big was happening. The whole room stiffened. Melissa straightened her blazer and put on her sweetest fake smile. "Welcome. How can I help?" "We're here for Mr. Cole," one of them said. And the air left the room. Everyone turned. Melissa blinked to Mr. Who. Evan stepped forward, quietly sliding his phone into his pocket. "Me," he said softly. The lead executive shook his hand like he was greeting a friend, not an employee. "We're grateful you finally called. The board has been waiting to meet you in person." Someone gasped loud. Melissa stared, confused, scared. "Wait, the board." The executive nodded. "Oh, Mr. Cole is the primary investor who completed last quarter's acquisition. This is his company now?" Silence, thick enough to choke on. Melissa's face dropped entirely. No, that's not his just." Even met her eyes with a quiet strength she didn't expect. "You said I was nothing." His voice didn't shake. Hers did. "I'm not." Everything reversed in seconds. She backed up as the executive stepped beside Evan M. Clark. He said, no emotion in his tone. "You're relieved of your position, effective immediately. No yelling, no drama, just truth." Justice arrived without raising its voice. Melissa's heels clicked away down the hall, no power left in the sound. The office felt lighter instantly. Like someone opened a window. People slowly walked up to Evan, some apologizing, some thanking him, all relieved. And even, he didn't gloat. Didn't brag, didn't punish anyone who stayed silent. He just said quietly, "Let's make this a place we're not afraid to walk into every day." Weeks later, the office transformed. Open conversations, respect, relief. And Evan finally felt like he could breathe again. One afternoon, an intern dropped a stack of papers in the hallway and froze, expecting to be yelled at. Evan knelt down, smiling softly. "It's okay," he said. Everyone has bad days. The kid nodded, eyes glassy with gratitude. And Evan walked away knowing something important. Sometimes the people who get crushed the hardest rise the highest. Because humility isn't weakness. Quiet isn't emptiness. And the secret he held wasn't power. It was becoming the person the